How did one wedding anniversary end with me being served papers at my office lobby in front of my coworkers? Why did my husband stay calm, collect proof, and get a legal result that changed my home and my child's schedule the same day? My name is Undine Mercer, and I was 34 when I decided I was tired of being the good wife. I worked as a marketing coordinator in a plain office with grey walls and a coffee machine that always tasted burnt. My husband, Ethan, was the kind of man people called steady. He paid bills on time. He fixed things before they broke. He kissed my forehead like it was a routine, not a choice. I used to say I wanted that steadiness. I used to say I wanted safety. But safety started to feel like a small room with no windows. That week was our wedding anniversary week. Ethan acted like it mattered, in the clean, simple way he had. He brought home flowers on Monday, not even waiting for the actual date. He set them in a glass and wiped water drops off the counter. He asked what I wanted to do. I said I did not care. He asked if I wanted a weekend away. I said we had too much going on. I watched his face when I said it. He looked relieved, like I had made it easier. Then I felt annoyed, like he had accepted the easy option too fast. I know how that sounds. I still think I was right to expect more. I had been carrying the emotional weight for years. At least, that is what I told myself. That night in our kitchen, I kept my voice flat. Ethan asked why I seemed distant. I said I was just tired. He asked if work was too much. I said the team needed me. He offered to handle bedtime with Milo. I said I could do it. I did not want help. Help made me feel like I owed him something. Milo was 7 and sweet, in a quiet way. He liked rules, like brushing teeth and lining up his shoes. He asked if we were going to have cake for the anniversary, like last year. I said maybe. Ethan told Milo we could do something fun. I rolled my eyes without looking at them. Ethan asked why I did that. I said he was being dramatic. I said it was just an eye roll. I said he always took small things and made them big. He got quiet after that, and I counted it as a win. Later, when Ethan washed dishes, I noticed 2 mugs drying on the rack. One was his, one was mine. They were side by side, like they were trying to be a couple. I moved mine a little away. It was a small thing, but it made me feel in control. The next morning, I left early. I did it on purpose. I liked walking out while Ethan was still in the hallway, adjusting Milo's backpack. Ethan asked if I could text when I got to work. I said sure. I did not. At the office, I opened my calendar and blocked a long time slot. I named it Meeting Personal. I stared at the screen and told myself it was normal. People did it all the time. I told myself Ethan did not need to know every hour of my day. I told myself privacy was healthy. Then I saw a message preview pop up on my phone from Rourke. Caleb was not a coworker. He was a freelance photographer who showed up at our company events. He had an easy smile and a voice that made ordinary words sound like a compliment. The first time we met, he asked what my name meant. I said it meant nothing. He said it sounded like a secret. I liked that. The message preview said he had an idea for anniversary photos and that he could help me make it feel special. I could have ignored it. I could have told him it was not appropriate. I could have remembered that I had a husband. Instead, I felt my chest lift, like I had been holding my breath for months. I did not answer right away. I liked the waiting. Waiting made it feel like I was in charge. I put my phone face down and walked to the printer. The printer made a soft, whirring sound, then spit out someone else's report. The paper felt warm. I thought, in a weird way, that my life should feel warm too. Noah, my manager, asked how my week looked. I said it was busy. He asked if I was ready for the next campaign review. I said yes. I was good at my job. Being good at my job gave me a reason to feel superior at home. At lunch, I scrolled through social media and saw couples posting throwback wedding photos. I felt annoyed, like they were all pretending. I told myself Ethan and I were different. I told myself our marriage had been taken from me slowly, not by cheating, but by boredom. That afternoon, Ethan texted, asking if we could talk about the weekend plan. He said he had ideas. I wrote back that I was swamped. He asked if I wanted him to pick up dinner. I said sure. When I got home, Ethan had put Milo's homework folder on the table. Milo was coloring a picture of a cake. Ethan asked how my day was. I said it was long. He asked what was wrong. I said nothing. He asked if I was upset with him. I said he was making it about him again. He asked what I needed. I said he should already know. He looked at me like I had handed him a test with no questions on it. After Milo went to bed, Ethan tried again. He asked if I wanted to do something meaningful for our anniversary. He said he could take a day off. He asked if I still cared. I said of course I cared, and I said it like he was stupid for asking. Then I added that caring did not mean I had to perform. He asked what perform meant. I said I was not going to act grateful for the basics. I said respect follows results, and I had results. I did not say that out loud, but I thought it. Ethan went quiet. He picked up his phone, then set it down. He glanced at the screen like there was something he did not want me to see. I noticed a reminder line on his calendar at the top, with a place name and a time. I did not ask. Asking would have meant I cared. On Thursday night, Jessa Lark called me and said we needed drinks. Jessa was my best friend and my mirror. She liked attention the way I did. She told me I'd been too domestic lately, and that it was not a good look. I said I was fine. She said I sounded like a hostage. So I went. The rooftop bar was loud but clean, with strings of warm lights and a view of the city that made everyone feel important. Jessa met me with 2 cocktails and a grin. She asked if Ethan was still being stiff. I said yes. She asked if he planned something boring again. I said probably. She told me I deserved to be adored. I said I agreed. She told me men only learn when they fear losing you. I laughed like it was a joke, but it felt like advice. I posted a story with the city lights and a caption about carrying the relationship. I did not tag Ethan. I wanted people to ask questions. I wanted to look strong. I wanted Ethan to see it and feel small. While Jessa talked, my phone vibrated again. Caleb's name flashed on the screen, and the message preview said he could meet tomorrow to plan something private. I stared at it a second longer than I should have. I told myself it was still just planning. I told myself no one was getting hurt yet. I told myself Ethan had pushed me here by not trying hard enough. Then I flipped my phone over on the table, like that made me loyal. On Friday morning, I woke up with a small headache and a big feeling of pride. I told myself I had not done anything real. I told myself I was only taking back my life. Ethan was already up. He was packing Milo's lunch, folding the napkin like it mattered. He asked if I slept okay. I said I was fine. He asked if I wanted coffee. I said no. He asked why I was short with him. I said he was imagining it. Milo walked in with his hair sticking up. He asked if we could do pizza night. I said maybe. Ethan said we could if we finished chores. I sighed like it was unfair. Ethan looked at me, and I could tell he wanted to say more. He did not. At work, I kept checking my phone like it was a second heartbeat. Caleb sent another message. He said he could stop by the venue tonight because my company had a small partner event. He said he could help me set up a surprise, and he asked if I wanted him to capture a real moment. I read it twice and told myself it was harmless. I replied that it could be useful, and I added a smiley face. I told myself a smiley face was not a promise. The event was at a bright space with white walls and banners. People wore name tags and acted cheerful. I walked fast, because walking fast made me look important. Noah asked if I had everything ready. I said yes, and that I was managing it all. He asked if I needed help. I said no. I did not want anyone seeing me as weak. Caleb arrived with his camera bag and his easy grin. He greeted me like we had a private joke. He asked how I was. I said I was stressed. He said he could make it better. I should have stepped back. I did not. He suggested we check the lighting in a quiet corner. I followed him, like I was following a professional. He asked if Ethan was coming to the anniversary dinner next week. I said Ethan was not the type to plan anything special. I said it like a complaint, but it sounded like an invitation. Caleb said I deserved someone who paid attention. I said Ethan paid attention to bills, not feelings. I heard myself, and I liked how sure I sounded. When the event ended, I texted Ethan that I was staying late for cleanup. He asked how late. I said maybe an hour. He asked if I wanted him to pick up Milo from my mom's. I said yes, because it made me look like I was sacrificing for the family. The truth was simple. I left the venue before the last staff member did. I walked out with Caleb, and he offered to carry my tote. I let him. It felt like being chosen. In the parking area, he asked if I wanted to talk somewhere quieter. I said I had to go home. He said he understood, but he looked at me like he did not believe me. I told myself he wanted me because I was worth wanting. I drove home and practiced a face in the rearview mirror. I made it tired, but noble. Ethan was waiting in the kitchen with Milo. The table was clean. The dishes were done. It made me angry because it made me look unnecessary. He asked if the event went okay. I said it was a mess and I fixed it. He asked why my phone location showed I left the venue early. I froze for half a second. Then I smiled. I asked why he was checking my location. I said that was controlling. I said it was creepy. He said he was not trying to control me, and he said he only noticed because he was worried. I said he was making excuses. I said he was always suspicious. I said he needed therapy. He asked if I was seeing someone. I laughed. I said he was being dramatic. I said he watched too many shows. I said he wanted me to be the bad guy so he could feel like a hero. Milo was still at the table. He looked between us. Ethan asked if we could not do this in front of Milo. I said Ethan started it. I said he loved to accuse me when I was tired. Later, Ethan went to Milo's room and read him a story. I stayed in the living room and scrolled my phone. Caleb sent a photo he took at the event, just a normal one of the room. But he had written, in a small message, that it was nice being near me. I stared at it and felt my stomach flip. The next day, I told Ethan I needed to run errands. He asked what errands. I said groceries and pharmacy. He offered to come. I said no, because I wanted space. The truth was, I wanted freedom. At the supermarket, Ethan still came, because he said he needed a few items too. I hated that. I hated being watched, even when he was not watching. At checkout, Ethan noticed the receipt time on my phone from last week. He asked why it was so late if I said I was stuck at work. I said he must have misread it. He said the time was clear. I said he was obsessed with catching me. I said normal husbands trusted their wives. He asked why I was angry. I said he was insulting me by acting like a detective. I said he was turning our marriage into a courtroom. I said he was not romantic anymore, so he tried control instead. That was my favorite trick. If I called him controlling, I could do anything and still look like the victim. We got home, and I saw Ethan at the dining table with a stack of mail. He had folders spread out. The labels were plain: utilities, bank, household. He was sorting in silence like it was a job. I asked what he was doing. He said he was organizing. I said it was weird. I said he never cared about that before. He said he always cared, and he said he was just doing it properly now. I rolled my eyes again. I told myself he was trying to scare me with adulthood. On Sunday afternoon, we went to the neighborhood playground with Milo. Other parents were there. I liked that, because other parents meant witnesses. I pushed Milo on the swing and smiled like a good mom. Ethan stood near the bench, scrolling his phone. He looked calm. Too calm. That made me nervous, so I attacked first. I walked over to a mom I knew and started talking loud enough for Ethan to hear. I said marriage was hard when one person wanted to control everything. I said some men got insecure when their wives had careers. I said I had to remind myself I was allowed to have my own life. The mum nodded politely. Ethan looked up for a second, then looked away. He did not react. That annoyed me even more. When we left, Ethan asked why I said those things. I said I was speaking my truth. He said it sounded like I was talking about him. I said if the shoe fit, that was not my problem. At home, Milo asked why Dad was quiet. I said Dad was tired. Ethan heard me and asked me not to put words in Milo's mouth. I said Ethan was overreacting again. That night, I heard Ethan's phone buzz with an unknown number. He did not answer in front of me. He took it to the hallway. When he came back, he looked the same, but his shoulders were tighter. He asked if we could talk tomorrow, just the two of us. I said maybe, if work allowed it. He nodded like he accepted it, but his eyes did not soften. I went to bed telling myself I was still in control, but I slept light, like my body knew a storm was coming. By Tuesday, the anniversary was close enough that people started asking about it like it was a holiday. In the office kitchen, a coworker asked what Ethan planned. I said he would probably do something basic. Another coworker said basics were nice. I said nice was not the same as wanted. I laughed like it was light, but I wanted the room to agree with me. Noah asked if I could stay focused on the campaign review. I said yes, and that my personal life would not affect my work. He asked if I needed to take time off. I said no, because I did not want anyone thinking I was unstable. I liked looking polished. I liked looking in control. Caleb kept showing up in my phone like a secret door. He asked if we could meet before the anniversary dinner. I said it depended. He said he had a plan that could make me feel seen. I told myself that Ethan had never made me feel seen in that way, even when he tried. I told myself it was not my fault if someone else noticed me. On the morning of our anniversary, Ethan woke up early and made eggs. He asked if I wanted a real breakfast. I said I was not hungry. He asked if I was nervous. I said I was fine. He asked if we could have a calm day. I said he was the one making it tense. Milo ran in with a paper crown he made at school. He said it was our anniversary crown. Ethan smiled and told him it was cool. I forced a smile too, but it felt like acting. Milo asked if we were going out. I said yes. Ethan said we would do dinner and a small surprise. Ethan asked if I could be home on time after work. I said yes. Then I blocked another calendar slot at the office. I named it Meeting Personal again. It felt normal now. That scared me a little, so I pushed the feeling away. Around noon, Caleb messaged again. He said he booked a small corner in a boutique hotel lobby near our dinner place. He said it would be quiet and classy. He said he could help me set up a photo moment so Ethan would have to finally react. I told myself it was about Ethan. I told myself it was about making Ethan appreciate me. I replied that I could stop by before dinner. I did not write what it really was. I did not write that I wanted to stand near Caleb and feel chosen. Work dragged. I kept checking the time. I told myself I was just planning a surprise, like a good wife. I told myself the lie was for a good reason, so it did not count the same. That is how I always made it softer. When I got home, Ethan was in the hallway ironing a shirt. He asked if I liked the restaurant he picked. I said it was fine. He asked if I wanted to dress up. I said I would decide later. He asked if I was happy. I said happiness was not a switch. He watched me for a long second. He asked if I was seeing someone. I felt my body get hot, but my face stayed calm. I asked why he kept accusing me. I said he was ruining the day. I said only insecure men hunted for problems on anniversaries. He said he did not want to hunt, and he said he wanted the truth. I said the truth was that he was smothering me. I said he turned everything into an interrogation. I said he made me feel like I could never breathe. He got quiet after that. He told Milo they would play a game while I got ready. Milo asked why we were not all together. Ethan said we would be soon. Upstairs, I put on a dress that looked simple, but I knew it looked good. I looked at myself and told myself I was still young. I told myself I was still worth effort. I texted Caleb that I was on my way to the lobby and that I had 15 minutes. I did not tell Ethan I was leaving early. I said I wanted a few minutes alone before dinner. Ethan asked what that meant. I said I just needed air. He said he could drive us. I said I would meet him there. He asked why. I said because I wanted control over one small thing. I drove to the hotel with my hands tight on the wheel. In the parking garage, I sat for a moment and watched my phone. Caleb said he was already inside. He said he saved me a spot. I told myself it was not wrong to talk. I told myself talking was not cheating. The lobby smelled like clean soap and flowers. People walked by with luggage. A couple laughed near the front desk. It looked normal, and that made my plan feel normal too. Caleb stood near a tall plant, holding his camera like it was part of him. He asked how I felt. I said I felt trapped. He asked if Ethan ever tried. I said he tried, but it was not enough. Caleb said enough was the minimum. He said I deserved maximum. I liked how he said that. He moved closer. He asked if I wanted to see the angle he planned for photos. I followed him to a quieter side area with a couch and a small table. He pointed at the light. He asked if this would make me glow. I said I did not need help glowing. He smiled like I was funny. He asked if I ever thought about leaving. I said leaving was complicated. He asked if I stayed because of money. I said I stayed because I was loyal. Even as I said it, I felt the word bend in my mouth. Caleb touched my arm in a way that did not feel like work. I did not pull away. He leaned in like he was going to say something private. I leaned too, because I wanted to feel like someone wanted my secrets. Then I heard a sound behind me. It was shoes on tile, slow and sure. I turned and saw Ethan. Ethan looked clean and calm, like he had tried for me. He held a small gift bag in one hand. His eyes moved from my face to Caleb's hand, then back to my face. He asked what was going on. I felt my stomach drop, but I did not show it. I said Caleb was helping me plan a surprise. I said Ethan should be grateful I was trying. Ethan asked why Caleb's hand was on me. I said Ethan was focusing on the wrong thing. I said it was just a friendly touch. I said Ethan always made normal things dirty. Caleb stepped back fast, like he wanted no part of the scene. He said it was a misunderstanding. Ethan did not look at Caleb. Ethan asked me again, very quiet, if I was lying. I said I was not lying. I said Ethan was embarrassing me in public. I said he was acting jealous and small. I said this was why I felt lonely. I said he could not even celebrate without controlling me. Ethan took a breath. He asked if we could go outside and talk. I said I did not need a talk, and I said he needed to stop. Ethan said we were not doing this here. He said Milo was at home with a sitter and that we needed to act like adults. I said he was the one acting like a child. I said he was paranoid. I said he should apologize to Caleb for assuming things. Caleb looked down and adjusted his camera strap like he was invisible. I noticed Ethan's phone in his pocket. It made a soft beep, like an app starting or stopping. I stared at it for a second. Ethan did not react to my stare. He just looked tired. People in the lobby started glancing at us. A front desk worker watched with a polite face. I felt heat in my cheeks, and my first thought was not about Ethan's feelings. My first thought was about what they thought of me. So I grabbed my purse and walked away first. In the parking garage, Ethan followed at a distance. He asked where I was going. I said I was going home because he ruined the night. He said he did not ruin it, and he said he walked into it. I said that was dramatic, and that he was rewriting reality. He asked if I was choosing Caleb over him. I laughed like it was ridiculous. I said there was no choosing because there was no affair. I said he should stop using ugly words. He said he was done guessing. I started my car. Ethan stood by his car and did not block me. He did not shout. He did not threaten. He only said we would talk when I was ready to be honest. Then he got in his car and drove away. steady as always. I sat there for a moment with my hands on the wheel, breathing fast. I told myself he had no proof. I told myself I could fix the story. I told myself I could still win. The next morning, I woke up before Ethan did. My chest felt tight, but my face felt calm. I told myself it was not cheating if there was no bed scene, no clear act. I told myself Ethan only saw what he wanted to see. I told myself he had walked in to punish me. Ethan came into the kitchen later. He asked if I slept. I said I did. He asked if we could talk without Milo. I said we could talk any time, but I said he needed to stop accusing. He asked if Caleb was more than work. I said Caleb was a vendor and a friend. And I said Ethan was being paranoid. Ethan said he saw my body language. I said he always judged me and never trusted me. Milo walked in and asked if we were still doing anniversary cake. Ethan said we would still do something for Milo. I said Milo deserved joy and not tension. Ethan asked me not to use Milo as a shield. I said I was not doing that, and I said he was twisting everything. After school drop-off, I went to work and acted normal. I smiled at the front desk. I waved at coworkers. I told myself that if I looked steady, people would believe I was steady. In the break area, someone asked how my anniversary went. I laughed and said it was complicated. I said Ethan got jealous over nothing. I said some men could not handle confident women. By lunch, Jessa had already posted a vague story about men who ruin special nights. She did not name Ethan, but she made it clear. People reacted with hearts and laughing emojis. That fed me. I shared it and added my own line about being done with control. I told myself it was truth. I told myself I was warning the world. Noah called me into his small office and asked if everything was okay. I said yes, and that I was just dealing with a sensitive husband. He asked if it was affecting my schedule. I said no, and I said I was still reliable. He asked me to keep work separate. I said of course, and I acted insulted, like he had accused me of being unprofessional. That afternoon, Britt texted me. She asked what really happened. I said Ethan embarrassed me in a hotel lobby and tried to intimidate me. Britt said Ethan did not intimidate people. I said Britt was naive and always took Ethan's side. Britt said she was not taking sides, and she said she just wanted honesty. I told her honesty was not the same as letting people judge me. When I got home, Ethan was not in the living room. Milo was watching a show and Patricia was sitting with him. Patricia asked how I was. I said I was tired. Patricia said Ethan was outside. I asked why she was here without calling. She said she came for Milo, and she said she would not be in the middle. Ethan walked in from the driveway with a bag of groceries. He asked Patricia if she could stay a bit longer. Patricia said she could. Ethan asked me if we could talk in the hallway. I said we could talk in the kitchen like adults. Ethan said the kitchen was not private. I said he was acting like there was something to hide. He looked at me for a second, then he nodded like he was done pushing. That night, Ethan slept in the guest bedroom. He told Milo it was just for better sleep. Milo asked if Dad was mad. Ethan said he was not mad at Milo. Milo asked if Mum did something wrong. Ethan said grown-up problems were not for kids. I stood in the doorway and felt a spike of anger because Ethan sounded calm. Calm made him look like the good one. I texted Caleb. I asked if he told anyone. He said he did not want drama. He said Ethan looked serious. He said it might be better if we paused. I felt heat in my face. I told him he was overreacting. He said he did not want trouble. I told myself he was weak, and I told myself Ethan was the reason people left me. That was easier than admitting I caused it. 2 days later, Sharon insisted on a family dinner. She said we needed a real talk and that Ethan needed to stop acting hurt. The dinner was at a family restaurant with a long table and loud plates. Greg sat quiet. Britt looked like she wished she was anywhere else. Ethan came with Milo and sat near the end, like he wanted space. Sharon asked Ethan what his problem was. Ethan said he did not want a public fight. Sharon said he already made it public by acting cold. I said Ethan shamed me in the hotel and made a scene. Ethan asked me to stop saying that, and he said I knew what he saw. I said he saw a misunderstanding and chose a story. Jessa was there too, because Sharon liked having backup. Jessa asked Ethan why he was so controlling. Ethan said he did not control me, and he said he only asked for honesty. Jessa said honesty was a trap word men used. I nodded along. I said Ethan had been distant for years. I said I felt alone in my own marriage. Ethan asked if that justified meeting Caleb in a hotel. I said it was not a hotel room, and I said he was being gross for making it sound sexual. Patricia and Ronald arrived late. Patricia greeted Milo first. Ronald gave Ethan a small pat on the shoulder. Sharon rolled her eyes at Patricia. Sharon said Ethan's family always acted superior. Patricia said this was not about pride, and she said it was about Milo's stability. Sharon said Milo was fine, and that kids bounced back. Patricia said kids did not bounce back from lies. Ethan did not raise his voice once. He asked Sharon to stop insulting him. Sharon said he was too sensitive. Ethan said he would not argue with her. He turned to me and asked if I was ready to tell the truth. I said the truth was that he was making me feel unsafe with his suspicion. Ronald asked what unsafe meant. I said unsafe meant watched. Ethan said he had not followed me, and he said he only reacted to what he saw. After dinner, I tried to corner Ethan in the parking lot. I said he was humiliating me by sleeping in the guest room. He said he was not humiliating me, and he said he was protecting his peace. I said he was punishing me. He said he was setting boundaries. I said boundaries were a fancy word for control. He said control was when someone lied and then demanded trust. At home that night, I heard a low hum from the hallway closet. It sounded like the shredder, the one we barely used. The air smelled like toner, faint and dry. I walked by the guest room and heard a soft click, like a drawer locking. I told myself Ethan was being dramatic. I told myself he was playing a role. On his desk in the corner of the living room, his laptop was open. I only saw it for a second. A small message popped up that said a file uploaded successfully, then it disappeared. I asked what he was doing. He said he was organizing life. I asked what that meant. He said it meant doing things properly from now on. I went upstairs and shut the bedroom door harder than I needed to. I lay in bed and stared at the ceiling. I told myself Ethan was trying to scare me. I told myself I could still fix the story if I pushed harder. But my hands felt cold, and my stomach felt like it knew I was running out of room. I tried to act like the dinner did not matter, but it sat in my chest all weekend. It was not guilt. It was anger that my story did not land the way it usually did. I was used to people nodding when I spoke. I was used to Ethan shrinking when I pushed. Now he stayed the same size, and it made me feel small. On Monday, Milo had school and I had work. Ethan moved through the morning like a machine that did not need me. He packed Milo's lunch. He checked Milo's homework folder. He asked Milo if he had his library book. Milo said yes. Ethan asked me if I could handle pickup. I said yes, and I said it like he should be grateful I agreed. Ethan asked if we could talk later. I said we already talked enough. He said he did not think we had talked at all. I said he loved drama. He did not answer. At the office, I tried to focus, but my phone felt heavy in my pocket. I wanted Caleb to message, because it would prove I still had options. I also wanted him not to message, because it would prove I was still safe. When he finally wrote, it was short. He said he did not want to be involved in marriage problems. He said he was stepping back. I stared at the screen, and my first instinct was to blame Ethan. I told myself Ethan scared him. I told myself Ethan's jealousy poisoned everything. It was easier than admitting Caleb was not brave, and I was not special to him. I replied that he was being dramatic, and that nothing even happened. He replied with one line, saying he hoped I figured it out. That line felt like a door closing. When I got home, Ethan was not on the couch. He was at the dining table again. His laptop was open. It looked like a spreadsheet, just rows and columns, no title I could see. He was typing slowly, like each number mattered. I asked what he was doing. He said he was catching up on life tasks. I said that sounded fake. He said it was not fake, and he said it was overdue. I asked why he started now. He said he had to think clearly. I walked behind him and tried to see the screen. He shifted his body slightly, not aggressive, just firm. He asked me to give him space. I said he was hiding things. He said he was not hiding, and he said he was protecting. That word, protecting, hit my nerves. I wanted him to react. I wanted him to shout or beg, because then I could call him unstable. Instead, he stood up, closed the laptop, and put it away like he was ending a meeting. Milo ran in and asked if we could go to the playground. I said yes, because it would give me an audience. Ethan said he could take Milo. I said no, I would go too. Ethan looked at me and nodded once. At the playground, the air was cold. Parents stood in small clusters. Kids ran and shouted. Milo went straight to the swings. Ethan stood near the bench. I sat on the other side of the bench like we were strangers. I started talking to another mom about schedules and stress. I made my voice bright. I said marriages changed when men got insecure. I said some husbands tried to control their wives by acting wounded. I laughed like it was normal talk. Ethan did not cut in. He did not defend himself. He only called Milo's name when Milo climbed too high. The other mom smiled politely and then looked away. I could tell she did not want to be part of it. That made me angrier. When Milo came over for water, he asked why Dad was not sitting with us. I said Dad liked space. Ethan heard it and said he was just watching Milo. Milo asked if we were still a family. Ethan said we would always be Milo's parents. Milo asked if that meant we would live in the same house. Ethan said we would make sure Milo was safe and cared for. I did not like how careful he sounded. I wanted him to say something messy. I wanted him to trip. On the walk back, I tried again. I asked Ethan why he was acting like a robot. He asked what I meant. I said he was punishing me with silence. He said he was not silent, and he said he was choosing his words. I said choosing words was just another way to control the story. He said the story did not matter as much as the truth. At home, I opened the kitchen drawer and saw a sticky note on the counter. It said, "Bring forms." It was not in Ethan's handwriting, or maybe it was, and I just did not want to admit it. I picked it up and stared at it like it was an insult. I asked what forms he needed. He said it was personal. I said personal was what cheaters said. He looked at me for a second like he was tired of my games. He asked if I heard myself. I said I heard myself fine, and I said he was trying to flip it on me. That night, Ethan's phone alarm went off while he was in the hallway. I heard the sound and the small label on the screen when he passed by. It said, "Paper drop." He clicked it off fast. I pretended I did not see it, then I brought it up anyway. I asked why he had weird alarms now. He said he was managing tasks. I said it sounded like he was planning something. He said planning was what adults did. In the guest room, the door was shut. I heard a faint click again, like a locked drawer. A few minutes later, the printer in the hallway made a noise and fed one blank page into the tray. I stared at the page because it felt like a warning. Ethan walked by and picked it up. He looked at it and then tossed it in the recycling without a word. I tried to break him with softness next. I made dinner and put his plate down like nothing happened. I asked if he wanted to watch a show later. He asked if that meant I was ready to be honest. I said I was being kind, and I said he was rejecting me to prove a point. He said kindness without honesty was just a mask. I told myself he was cruel. I told myself he was cold. I told myself that if he would just touch me and reassure me, I would stop feeling the need for attention elsewhere. I even believed that for a minute. The next day, in the school pickup line, Milo climbed into the back seat and asked if Dad was coming to his class presentation. I said yes, of course. Ethan was standing near the gate, waiting calmly like he always did. Milo waved, and Ethan waved back. In the car, I watched Ethan in the mirror. He looked like a man who already made a decision. That scared me more than shouting ever could. At home, I tried one last push. I told Ethan he was ruining Milo's life by being stubborn. Ethan asked me not to use Milo. I said I was protecting Milo. Ethan said protection was not the same as pressure. I said Ethan was making me the villain. He said he was not making anything. He said actions had names. I asked if he wanted to hurt me. He said he did not want to hurt me, and he said he wanted to end the chaos. I asked what that meant. He looked straight at me, calm and steady, like he had finally stopped hoping I would change. He said he would handle it properly. I thought Ethan meant he would talk properly, like therapy or some calm plan. I told myself he was still the same man who avoided conflict. I went to work the next morning, wearing my best blazer because looking sharp made me feel safe. In the office elevator, I practiced my story. I told myself that if anyone asked, I would say Ethan was stressed and jealous. I would say I was patient. I would say I was the stable one. When I walked into the lobby, I saw Ethan near the glass doors. He was not blocking me. He was not angry. He stood a few steps away, hands empty, posture straight. Patricia was also there, holding Milo's small backpack like it was a normal day. Milo stood close to her leg. He looked confused, not scared. A man in a plain jacket stepped forward and asked if I was Undine Mercer. I said yes and asked who he was. He said he had legal documents for me. I laughed once, because my body did not know what else to do. I said there had to be a mistake. He asked me to confirm my name again. I said it louder, like volume could change reality. People at the front desk looked up. Noah walked out of the elevator behind me and slowed down when he saw my face. The man handed me an envelope and said I was being served. Ethan did not speak. He only nodded slightly, like he had finished a task. I opened the envelope with shaking hands. The first page said our marriage was ending through a formal filing. My eyes jumped to bold lines about temporary orders. It said I could not move money around outside normal expenses. It said there would be a parenting schedule starting today. It said the home would be in Ethan's possession for now, and I would need to leave by a set time. It said all contact had to stay about Milo and logistics. I looked up at Ethan and asked if he did this to punish me. He said it was not punishment, and he said it was protection. I told him he was being cruel. He said he was being lawful. Noah asked if I needed to step aside. I said no, because pride is a bad habit. I said Ethan was trying to ruin me. Noah did not answer. He only looked at the paper in my hand, then looked away fast like he did not want to be part of it. I told the man serving papers that I did not accept. He said service did not need my approval. He said I was served the moment he confirmed my identity. Milo tugged Patricia's sleeve and asked if he was going with Dad today. Patricia told him yes, and she said his clothes were already packed for a few days. Milo looked at me and asked if I was coming too. I said of course I was, but the words sounded empty. Ethan finally spoke again. He told me the schedule was written and that it started now. He said he would follow it exactly. He said I should read it carefully and not make this hard on Milo. I felt the lobby watching me. I wanted to scream, but screaming would not change ink. Ethan walked Milo toward the doors. Milo turned his head once, like he was checking if I would stop it. I could not move. Ethan opened the door, let Patricia and Milo pass. Then he looked back at me with tired eyes and said we were done living in lies. Then he left, and the glass door closed behind him.